I did trade a Klon. I had my Gold Klon for many years, and the prices were going up and up and up. And I was not using it because I have a bunch of clones that I think sound really great. I've got the KTR, which sounds almost identical. I have my Nordvangs, which sounds almost identical. And then I have the Tumnus, which is freaking awesome, and it's that big. So there you go. So there's my Tumnus on my board. And that sounds really, really great and really, really close. So the problem that I had with the Klon, it just becomes one of those things like, I own one. And I didn't want to use it on gigs because, you know, having that kind of pedal on the floor, at the kind of gigs I end up playing, you know, they're not big stages where people are guarding your gear very often. You're just playing a bar or like the Bitter End or something like that in New York. So having a pedal on the floor that's worth more than the guitar that I'm playing, I just kind of thought, well, and it's also been sitting in the closet, and it did sound marginally better than my other pedals. Marginally better than my other clones by like this much. But if somebody kind of, you know, hits a ride cymbal, it all kind of goes away. So my good friends over at Watchtower Guitars had this there, and it's a Michael Landau. It's like one of 16, master built by Jason Smith. And the funny thing is, 3 of my friends owned it prior to me, and all kind of came around. And one of my first friend who owned it, brought it new, he traded it towards a 57 Strat, like a real old Strat, to a guy. And then that guy who he traded it to my friend Eli, who owns Two Rock, for working on some amps, because he's got a bunch of vintage guitars. And then Eli traded it to Watchtower Guitars because he was rebuilding a car or something like that. And so then I went in and I tried it, and it's great. And I went back and tried it a bunch of times. And then I got it. So it's really very funny that all the guys that traded it all love the guitar and regret trading it, but they traded up to this higher price items that I'm not going to get a 57 Strat. And like, right, you know, Adam Jones, it's too expensive to use it in a weird way. And it doesn't sound $5,000 better than, right, it does not sound $5,000 better than my Tumnus. So I just said, you know, at some point you got to just cut bait on this thing. It was actually causing me more stress than anything, if that makes any kind of sense. And I wouldn't have done it had I not thought this guitar was pretty magical, actually. So I have, it's 7 pounds, 2.5 ounces, super light. These are our Lawler Imperials, regular. And these are just like mother of toilet seat tops because it kind of looks cool. And what I love about this guitar, and this, I have a Tuttle that's similar to this, but it sounds dramatically different, which I can play it for you, is I love humbuckers, but I love playing Strats, say, not considerably. I'm most comfortable with Strats. In any gig I go to, I'm going to bring a Strat usually, and they travel much better. So when I'm traveling, I can throw Strats in a gig bag. And I like humbuckers, and sometimes I'm trying to not get away from single coil sounds, but the neck on a single coil Strat, I love that sound. It's amazing, but it's very much that. And these are also noise-free. And I think Landau's idea for this when he made this guitar was the whole sighties things was going on, so he could travel with a maple neck and have humbuckers, and it wouldn't make any noise. Noise-free, because he doesn't like noise-free pickups. And it's a Strat. So there you go. But like I said, I traded the Klon. Everybody thought I was crazy at first, and I haven't looked back. I play this every day. I'm totally happy, and I've traded a pedal for inspiration, if that makes sense. So yeah. It's very Strat-y, right? And then you go to the neck.